Hello my dear students. So in today's session we are going to continue our part number 2 of chapter 5, that is language of chemistry. In the previous session we have studied these all topics that are written here. The first topic that we have studied was symbols of elements. So in this topic we have studied the symbols of all the 20 elements and 3 points that comes under the symbols of element, that is the first letter symbols, the 2-letter symbols when there is the first letter is common for each and every element, then what we have to do, we have studied that point, and the symbols derived from Latin names of the elements. So these were the points that we have just considered in the previous session of symbols of elements, and we have studied about valency. That valency was the number of electrons that any atom wants to donate or accept to form a chemical bond. Okay, and after that we have considered the elements with variable valency. So there were some elements which have variable valencies as well. We have considered this point also, and after that we have studied ions. What does ion mean? Ion is a charged particle that is formed by, or that is formed after the donation, or when any atom accepts electrons or donates electrons, then it forms a charged particle that is known as ions. And we have also studied the types of ions on the basis of charge, and on the basis of charge, the nature of charge. We know that there are two types of charges, positive and negative charges. So on the basis of these two types of charges, we have studied two types of ions, that is cations and anions as well. Okay, so today we are going to continue further with the types of ions. So today's topic, the first topic of the session is ions on the basis of number of atoms. Till now we have studied ions on the basis of nature of charges. Now today we are going to continue with the types of ions on the basis of number of atoms. So monoatomic ion is the first type of ion that comes under the basis of number of atoms. An ion that consists of only a single atom with a charge is called a simple ion or monoatomic ion. So whenever any ion contains only a single atom, then we call that ion as simple ion or monoatomic ion. Okay, so what does the word monoatomic means here? Monoatomic means single over here. Okay, and for example we have a sodium ion, Na positive, is a simple ion, because we can see that in this ion there is only one atom, that is of sodium. Okay, so we have considered monoatomic ion. Now we are going to study some elements and their ions plus their symbols also with their valencies along with. Okay, so you can see in this table these all are monoatomic ions. But firstly understand that monoatomic ions will be of further two types, positive and negative. We know it very well that ions are of two types, positive and negative, on the basis of charge. The positive ones are known as cations and the negative ones are known as anions. Okay, now you can see that in this table positive ions are stated, that is cations are given. The first one is hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion's symbol is H plus and its valency is +1. Sodium's ion is represented by the symbol Na positive, its valency is +1. Potassium ion's symbol is K plus and its valency is +1. Magnesium ion's symbol is Mg2 plus and its valency is +2. Okay, firstly understand that you should have to be known with valencies of each and every element. Then you can state the particular ion. Otherwise, it's not possible without the valency to state the ion of any particular element. Okay. Now you can see calcium ion's symbol is Ca2 positive and its valency is +2. The next one is copper second ion. Because it is written second here, so you can just know by the Roman numeral that the valency stated here about the copper is +2 and the symbol is Cu2+. The next one is iron second ion, that means 2 valency. Okay, the valency stated here about the iron is 2. So you can see +2 and the symbol is Fe2+. Aluminium ion, it is stated by the symbol Al3+ and the valency is +3. So these are the positive ions of monoatomic ions. Now we are going to move further with the monoatomic ions in the negative form. Okay, you can see anions over here. So this table elaborates the anions of monoatomic ions. Okay, here you will see only single atom. So that's why these all are monoatomic ions. The first one is hydride ion. Okay, and the symbol is H negative. Valency is -1. The next one is chloride ion. The symbol is Cl negative and the valency is -1. Next one is bromide ion, which is represented by Br negative and its valency is -1. Further moving on, iodide ion, its symbol is I negative and valency is -1. Next one is oxide ion, its symbol is O2 negative and its valency is -2. Next one is sulfide ion, its symbol is S2 negative and its valency is -2. Nitride ion, then its symbol is N3 negative and the valency is -3. And the last one, that is phosphide ion, that is P3 negative and its valency is -3. Always remember, if you are not known with or if you don't know the valency of particular elements, then you can't state the ion of that particular element. So you have to know with the valency of all the elements, then you can derive their ions. Okay, now we are moving with the next type of ions on the basis of the number of atoms, that is polyatomic ion. So here you can see it is stated that an ion that consists of a group of atoms with an overall charge is called a polyatomic or compound ion. For example, ammonium ion NH4 positive is a polyatomic ion. So what's a polyatomic ion? The ion which consists of 2 or more atoms in its particular ion is known as polyatomic ion. Okay, and it consists of overall charge on it also. You can see the example. Ammonium ion, ammonium ion's symbol is NH4 positive. So here you can see that there are 2 atoms. The first one is nitrogen and the second one is hydrogen. So this is a combination, or this is the combined form of an ion with 2 atoms. So that's why it's a polyatomic or compound ion. Now we are moving further with the table of polyatomic ion. This is given on your screen. The names and symbols of some polyatomic ions or compound ions with charges are listed in the following table. So you can see there are some polyatomic ions name and their symbols and their valency, or we can say charge. Okay, you see the first one is ammonium ion. We have already studied about this, NH4 positive and its valency is +1. The next one is hydroxide ion, OH negative. It is represented by OH negative and its valency is -1. The next one is nitrite ion. Its symbol is NO2 negative. Remember it, the symbol of nitrite ion is NO2 negative and its valency is -1. The next one is nitrate ion. Its symbol is NO3 negative and its valency is -1. The next one is bicarbonate ion. Its symbol is HCO3 negative and the valency of bicarbonate ion is -1. The next one is sulfate ion. Its symbol is SO4 2 negative and its valency is -2. The next one is sulfite ion and its symbol is SO3 2 negative and the valency is -2. The next one is carbonate ion. its symbol is Cu32 negative and its valency is -2. The last one is phosphate ion. Its symbol is PO4 3 negative. Always remember that the phosphate ion symbol is PO4 3 negative and its valency is -3. So these are some common compound ions or polyatomic ions which you will need during the formation of chemical formula. So these are the polyatomic ions. You have to memorize it so that you can form a chemical formula further in this chapter. Now we are moving with the next topic that is given on the screen, the formation of chemical formula, that is chemical formula of compounds. Okay, we will consider the first point of this topic that is given on your screen. The chemical formula of a compound is the symbolic representation. It's the symbolic representation of its composition. So always remember that a chemical formula is the symbolic representation of its composition. Let's just have an example. If I say I have water, so how can I say that what is the composition of water? We know that the formula of water is H2O. And this chemical formula is the symbolic representation of water which is just giving us idea that what is the composition of water molecule. Okay, the next point you can see here is it tells the number of atoms of various elements present in one molecule of a compound. So you can clearly see that the chemical formula tells us the number of various atoms of particular elements combined in the molecule. So you can see here are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen in this particular composition. Okay, the next point says that the chemical formula of different compounds can be written easily if you know the symbols and the valencies of the elements. If you are just known with the symbols and valencies of the particular elements, then you are capable to form the chemical formula of particular composition. Okay, so now we are moving with the next topic, that is formation or rules for writing the formula of compounds. Okay, so there are some rules with the help of which we can just write the chemical formula of particular compound. Let's just have a look on those rules. The first rule here says that write the symbols of the elements or ions that form the compound. I am taking the compound as sodium chloride. Okay, so what is the composition of sodium chloride? We know there is an atom of sodium as well as an atom of chlorine. So you have to write the symbols firstly. I am just writing down the symbols Na and Cl. Okay, the next rule says that write the valency of each element or the charge of each ion below its symbol. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to just write the valency of each element, or if you have an ion, then you have to write the charge of that ion under it. Okay, if we have symbols Na and Cl. Okay, so these are the elements, these are particular elements, you know very well, and you have to write down the valency in case of elements. So valency for sodium is 1 and valency for chlorine is also 1. If I am talking about charge when we are considering the ion, so we can just write down the charge for sodium is +1 and the charge for chlorine is -1. So this is the second point or second rule. Now what we have to do with the third rule, let's just see. Finally interchange the valencies or charges of the combining atoms or ions and write them as subscript. So what we have to do, we have written the symbols, we have also written the valency or charges NaCl +1 -1. Now what we have to do according to third rule, we have to just interchange the valencies or charges. You have to just interchange the valencies. So this goes to this and this goes to this. So what we can derive from here, you can see if the valencies or charges are divisible by a common factor. Now you have to just see, you have to just pay attention that if the valencies or charges are divisible by a common factor, then divide it and simplify the formula. You can see the formula from here becomes Na1Cl1. Okay, and it can be written as NaCl finally. So these are the 4 rules. Now we are moving with the next and last rule, that is the 5th one. For charges, exclude the positive and negative sign. Okay, we have got the formula as NaCl plus 1 minus 1, but after interchanging the charges, we have written it down as NaCl. We have not considered the positive and negative charges, or we can say the positive sign and the negative sign. Exchange the numbers and then write them as subscripts. You have to just write them as subscripts, applying the above rules, the rules we have considered. Okay, now we are moving with some chemical formulas of some common compounds that are on your screen. The first compound you can see on the screen is formula of hydrogen chloride. So in case of hydrogen chloride, what you have to consider? Firstly, know the composition. Here is hydrogen and chlorine involved in this compound. So you have to write the symbol of hydrogen and chlorine. After writing down the symbol, we will write the valency of hydrogen, that is 1, and the valency of chlorine, that is also 1. Then what we have to do? We have to just interchange the valencies with particular elements or particular atoms. Okay, then we will just interchange the valencies. After that, the formula becomes H1Cl1, and we can see that 1 is common around here, so we will write the formula as simple as HCl, and this is the final formula of hydrogen chloride. Now the next compound you can see here is formula of water. Okay, so in the water we know that the composition is of the elements hydrogen and oxygen, so you have to write the symbols of hydrogen and oxygen over here. Okay, after that you have to write the valency under them. The valency for hydrogen is 1 and the valency for oxygen is 2. Then we have to interchange the valency with both atoms, and then we will get the final formula as H2O1. H2O1. But we know that we do not write 1, so that's why the formula becomes as simple as H2O. So this becomes the final formula of water, that is hydrogen oxide. Now we are moving with some other compounds that are on your screen. The third compound is formula of carbon dioxide. So in carbon dioxide, the composition is of the elements carbon and oxygen. So you can write the symbol of carbon as C and oxygen's symbol is O. Now what we have to do? We have to write the valencies under them. So we will do that. The valency of carbon is 4 and valency of oxygen is 2. Now after writing the valency, we will interchange the valencies with both the atoms. So after interchanging them, we will find the formula as C2O4. C2O4. Okay. Now you can see there is a common factor of 2 between both. So we will just divide with that, and after dividing 2 and 4 by 2, we will get the final formula as CO2. That means the final formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. Now the next compound is formula of magnesium chloride. So you can see magnesium chloride has the composition of magnesium and chlorine. So you have to write the symbol of magnesium and chlorine. So the symbol of magnesium is Mg and symbol of chlorine is Cl. Now we have to write the valency under them or the charge under them, because we are talking about magnesium and chlorine. So that's why we have to mention the charge, because these are the ions, monoatomic ions. Okay, so the charge for magnesium is +2 and the charge for chlorine is -1. Now you have to write the formula after interchanging the charges with the atoms. So when we are interchanging the charges, we will write it as Mg1. We will not consider the negative sign and positive sign. Okay, so we will write Mg1Cl2. You can see here, and we also know that we do not consider 1. So we will write the final formula as MgCl2. So this is the formula for magnesium chloride, that is MgCl2. Now we are moving with some other compounds. The fifth one, that is formula of calcium oxide. So you can see that in the calcium oxide, the name mentions that the composition is of calcium and oxygen. So you have to write the symbol of calcium as well as oxygen. After that, you have to write the valency of calcium and valency of oxygen, because you know that calcium and oxygen are taken as ions. That means monoatomic ions. So we have to write the charges here, okay, and the charge for Ca is +2, the charge on oxygen is -2, okay. then the formula becomes, after changing the charges with the ions, the formula becomes Ca2O2, Ca2O2. And you can see here that common factor is 2. Then you will divide by 2 with 2 and 2, okay, and then you will get the answer as CaO, that is calcium oxide. The final formula for calcium oxide is CaO. Now the next compound and the last compound is formula of zinc sulfide. So when we are talking about zinc sulfide, the name suggests that we have to write the symbol of zinc as well as sulfur. Now when we are talking about zinc and sulfur, we know that these are monoatomic ions. So we have to consider the charges and you have to write the charges under them. So we will mention the charge of zinc, that is +2, and mention the charge of sulfur, that is -2. After mentioning the charges, we will interchange them with the particular ions, and then the formula becomes Zn2S2. We will not consider the sign, we know very well. So we will write the formula as Zn2S2, and you can see the common factor here is 2. So we will divide by 2 and we will get the formula as Zns. So the final formula for zinc sulfide is Zns. So in today's session, we have studied the composition, that how we have to make the chemical formula, okay, and we also studied the formation of chemical formulas with the help of symbols and particular valencies. In the next session, we are going to carry forward the chapter. Till then, revise the first lecture and the second lecture that we have done. Take care, bye bye, and thank you.